Welcome everyone. Today we have an updated video guide on the Summoner Infernalist leveling guide. So previously I was prepared to play the game and test things out for you guys, but as you guys know, now that we're waiting for the game developers to get the connection going, we might as well have a video to update the previous video. Yes, I'm updating the previous video. I didn't get to test it out, but I have perked everything on a correct builder's guide on Mobilitics. Now there are still a few things I want to go through with you guys, so please bear with me. The first thing you want to notice on the builder's guide is that I have selected the scepter, and by the looks of it, the first scepter we can get is around level 21. It is possible to get an early level scepter, but maybe level 21 is the earliest. For the scepters, you want to look for something that increase spirit, increase percentage spirit, increase minion skills, and also having allies in your presence dealing more damage and also having higher attack speed. You're not expected to get all of those stats. Even if you get one of those stats, that can greatly benefit your minions build. The second thing you want to notice is that you want to get some good stats on the amulet. You can get amulet as low as level 8. Doesn't matter what stat you get with bonus attribute, if you can get added damage to attacks and also allies in your presence have increased attack, damage, resistance, critical, casting speed, any of those allies in your presence have a bonus damage, it is great. So if you come over to the node over here, you can see this particular major node that provides us with the bonuses that on the amulet will go to the minion instead of us. So having bonus damage on the amulet can technically give our minion even higher damage. And this is actually stackable, which is actually really good. You can see that we have also went for additional critical chances, critical damage, and also more crit and also more minion life. So those are also great on the tree, as we have mentioned in the previous video. So this is one of the reasons over here I have wanted to perk out both of those items to show you guys what are the crucial items in the early game for you. And I do want to mention over here, guys, you're not expected to get all the affixes mentioned over here. I just want to list all the good affixes you can find. Just getting one or two of those affixes will be good enough. You don't even have to get the scepter, you can get something else as well. Now coming back to the skills, we have mentioned previously about getting our minions ready. So previously we had a 6 link, so this time I want to break it down a little bit so you can see all the skeleton warriors, skeleton arsonists, and also unearth. They are linked by 3 links, and this is actually quite important. So what you can see over here is I have linked them so you have 3 links and you can try to prioritize which of the links will give you the most damage and also benefit your minions most. And just as a reminder, guys, what you can see is for Unearth, this also summons minions, and this is linked towards any added damage together with Minion Pack and also Infernal Legion, so they deal more damage. The Skeleton Warriors are here to tank up for us, explode for us, and also survive a little longer to tank up. Skeleton Arsonists are here to deal more damage with any added fire damage or any damage. Minion Mastery and also Volley can provide additional projectiles. Now, one thing you want to understand is that even though we're using Skeleton Arsonist for AoE damage, it is possible to go with Skeleton Snipers. I should just type Sniper. Sniper. So we can just go with Skeleton Snipers. So if you're going with Skeleton Snipers, the benefit over here is that this will do more single target damage compared to the Skeleton Arsonist. And this also allows us to use gas arrows, which I do believe will allow us to use the Herald of the Plague. As we kill the poison enemies, this can help us spread. But if you're not running Skeleton Snipers, you can use Contagion, and this will help you to spread more damage as your minion do most of the work. Now over here, we try to have 2 of the offerings if possible. The bow offering is level 3, the pen offering is level 6. And having both of those offerings, let me come over to the builder's guide, is one of the reasons we have it is over here. So our minions will do more damage when we have at least 2 active offerings. So quite important to keep those active so your minions will do more damage in the fight. Now finally, some of the skills we mentioned earlier is something like vulnerability to increase your minions damage, and also the possibility to just have a teleportation or traverse spells across map and also ledgers. Lightning Warp might not be the best. If you find something else that allows you to teleport, you can use any skill gems that allows you to have a mobility skill, which is quite important. Now, one of the requests I had from previous videos is to look at the demonstration of the skeleton summoners in the live stream. And here we can have a look at how this actually performs. So this is actually a very similar build to my plan I started. Here the demonstration from the English livestream coming from Chinese video, I know. So here he's using the skeleton warriors and also the skeleton snipers instead of skeleton arsonists. Now you may be wondering, why is he not using skeleton arsonists? It's because the skeleton snipers is likely going to do more damage to the single target for the final boss. Now the gameplay for your initial leveling witch is actually quite straightforward. You will be casting spells to unearth to summon more minions using corpses. Now do keep in mind, if you do not have enough corpses, this spell won't be that effective. So against the boss without enough corpses, your main damage will be coming from your minions together with your active abilities. Now notice that he is constantly activating his skeleton snipers to do the poison cloud, which you can see on the map is kind of like the green gas thing. And here you do want to roll out of danger and also kind of stay mobile. And once we fast forward to the boss, you can see that the fight will take a little more time. And this is the boss for the first trial of Ascension. So over here you can see our which character or which player is casting spells, summoning minions, and then casting the active abilities from the minions. And again here, he's not getting enough corpses to use Unearth, so he wasn't getting a lot more minions than expected. Nevertheless, if you are fighting the first trial, another advice is to have a little higher levels compared to what's required for the trial. So the content creator has mentioned that if you actually come to the trial just in the bare minimal levels, it is possible for you to get one-shotted. But you can see the demonstration over here, our witch player is pretty much not taking damage because you can keep yourself a distance from the monsters and then let your minions do the work, let them tank. And because your minions can be auto-revived, you have infinite tanks, and this is a rotational method which you learn to keep the distance as you play in the early game before you get super tanky on your witch and before you get your Infernal Hound. Now on the topic of getting tankier, it's possible to have more minion revival, and getting more of those nodes will have more minions coming back to tank for you. At the same time, you can come over to the additional energy shield and also even higher additional energy shield. Because if you get armor pieces and also other helmet and also boots pieces with energy shield, this can drastically increase your survivability. So those are some of the nodes I didn't perk, but I can highlight it for you guys just to show you guys those will help you survive if you try to play the trial and you find yourself dying a little bit. Now of course, after you finish your Ascension, once you get your Infernal Health, you will be much tankier because this health can take 20% of the damage you take as its health. So one thing to notice, that once you get the Infernal Health, it is possible to replace the Skeleton Warriors with Infernal Health over here, and then you can have more gem sockets supported to the Skeleton Arsonists like the last grips, and then you can use all your spirit on the DPS of your summons. So because Infernal Health is not going to cost spirit, you can free up the spirits using the Skeleton Warriors and invest more onto the Skeleton Snipers or the Skeleton Arsonists. Now hopefully this video gives more understanding to the leveling for the Witch and also Infernal Summoner starter build. Now I do apologize for not being able to test this because as you guys know, we can't get into the game. I wanted to test this and also show you guys in-game footages before I make this video, but I couldn't do that. But I want to give you guys updates because there's more questions on the leveling build. And at the same time, I'll be transitioning from the other builder's guide into the Mobilitics builder guide, and make sure you guys favor this one because I will be updating all of my latest Path of Exile builds in the Mobilitics account. So make sure you follow me, and also I'll be updating the existing build with more gears that can help you progress in the map to the mid game and also to the late game. I'll be adding more nodes to the skill combinations. Because there's availability to use the Skeleton Arsonists or the Snipers, I'll be writing additional notes for you guys just for reference. And I'll also be updating constantly my passive skill tree, and once that testing's out, I may be changing those a little bit, so bear in mind. Now before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is going to be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.